Employees of McDonald's, what secrets did you discover while working there? Former employee here. I found out that, when making 5 gallons of sweet tea, an entire 4-pound bag of sugar goes in. Sandwiches with round egg use real, cracked eggs. Folded and scrambled, come from packaged goods in the freezer or fridge. I also had a manager that insisted more people purchase filet-o-fish when it's raining out because they subconsciously associate the watery weather with fish. Anyway, he did some research by pouring through sales of filet-o-fish for months and months and comparing it to weather data for each day. Turns out he found something like a 3% increase on rainy days and was very pleased with himself. Edit. Wow, I will answer some of your questions up here so people can see. The manager voiced his theory one day and the crews all argued with him about it. This went on for a while. He was committed to proving us wrong, so he secretly pulled the sales numbers at work and did the rest on his own time, never breathing a word until he brought his printed report in to shut us all up. He did separate Fridays during Lent and compared those days to each other in anticipation of having holes poked in his research. We still did that anyway, of course. As pointless and imperfect as the research was, it was impressive to see his commitment to giving us the middle finger. Dehydrated onions, you put them in a metal thing and just add water. The thing is, they still taste great. But I was shocked and happy that I didn't have to go cut onions. Did they taste good just dehydrated? They're hard and crunchy and weird dehydrated. The official deodorizing spray they gave us is the most pleasant thing I've ever smelled in my entire life. Even now, I wish I could smell it again. Edit. Okay, so this is a spray you use on the bathrooms or the bowl pit to make them smell better. Not personalized deodorant. I managed a different kind of restaurant, but I know the exact cleaning spray you're describing. Once I had an employee who loved that smell so much that he'd volunteer to clean the bathrooms so he could be able to get close to it. He'd take deep inhales over the open bottles. Kid couldn't get enough. But as pleasant as it smells, it's a ton of serious chemicals in that solution. Probably safer not to take big huffs of it, but no one could talk him out of doing it. Eventually I had to stop letting him clean the bathroom. For the one I worked at in high school. Burgers are kept in a warming area for no more than 15 minutes then thrown out, and new ones are made. You get a free meal from anything except the salads. Meal is a sandwich, medium fries and a medium drink. At the end of the night all the cooked meat is thrown out. If you want you can use it to make burgers and take them home with you. Specific tools and grill section for cooking chicken vs beef to make sure they don't cross for those customers who don't eat beef. The Hindu cowwalkers were very vocal about this rule if you worked the grill. Regarding the free meal, I remember it was a free meal every 4 hours. Ultimately, you could have 2 free meals during an 8-hour shift. My manager used to be on my back all of the time for giving out too much sauce. He tried telling me the limit is 1 per meal. Edit. I'm based in the UK. Our portions generally are smaller here, but I would still give out as many sauces as possible, FCK being stingy. Our store did 1 sauce for 4 and 6 piece nuggets, 2 for 10 and 3 for 20. My store does this, but I always add an extra sauce for 20, because come on, if 10 gets to it's only logical 20 gets 4. I worked there when I was in high school. Not a secret, but I hadn't known much about franchises before then. I hadn't realized that McDonald's could vary quite a bit in quality and professionalism, based on who the owners were and what type of management/workplace they set up. I worked at a really good one, with good management, but some are shit. The pickles are surprisingly aerodynamic. They stick to walls, and, if you have the stones, managers' shirts pretty well. Yeah, they fly amazing. Pretty sure me and my old crew cost that store a $1K the entire time we worked there just throwing them things. Lol. I learned that if I have time to lean, I have time to clean. Got time to text, got time to Windex. You got time to flop, you got time to mop. My old McDonald's had a basement. E-I-E-I-O. In that basement, there was a piggy. Please dude, going after me, do not make it sound like an S&M fantasy. With a whip whip here, and a ball gag there. Here a whip, there a whip. Everywhere a whip whip. Did I do it right? My first day on the job, I was told to be on the lookout for the elderly gentleman who would try to sneak around the counter and pour the entire coffee pot into his mug, while everyone was too busy to stop him. Did you ever catch him in the act? Haha, yes, almost immediately. This just makes me think of Grunkle Stan from Gravity Falls. If you want a good replacement Big Mac sauce, 3 big tablespoons of good quality mayo. About a single good tablespoon of ketchup. 2 teaspoons of gherkin relish. 1 tablespoon also of pickle juice. 1 teaspoon of garlic powder. Half to 1 teaspoon of turmeric. Mix till thoroughly combined. Leave in the fridge to let the ingredients make friends with one another over pass. Edit. I looked it up, and apparently this is just my version of ducking Thousand Island dressing. Do you mean half a teaspoon of turmeric? I've been cooking a long time and that seems way off to me. It's just so overpowering. Not trying to be an asshole. I worked at McDonald's when they first introduced sweet tea, and remember that it was brewed in a large bucket mixing hot water with a full bag of granulated sugar. It makes me sick to think about, but I still sometimes crave that disgustingly sweet tasty garbage. Man, reading these I'm wondering why my McDonald's was so boring. We didn't spit on anything. The stuff that needed to be kept clean was kept clean. If it wasn't required, it would be filthy. The ice cream machine worked fine. Food wasn't undercooked. On occasion it was overcooked. Employing high school kids, of course they are gonna make some mistakes, but nothing too bad. Drop any unopened chicken nugget sauce on the ground once, you've got yourself a sauce grenade. Trash compactor can make for some fun explosions too. We had a vial pack of ketchup that needed tossed for whatever reason. Someone didn't realize it shouldn't go into the compactor. I go back after hearing a bang and a scream. Dude is just caked in ketchup and it shot up out of the barrel of the manual compactor and painted the wall, ceiling, and bun rack. They have since taken away the vial packs. Worked there in high school. Found out that if you put the middle of a Mac bun in the fryer and then add soft serve and strawberry topping, it tastes just like a funnel cake. Custom creations were the best part of working there. Edit. I have thoroughly enjoyed hearing about all of your own custom creations. You have all made my workday much less boring, so thank you. Cheeseburger bun fried, add the cheddar powder, cinnamon donut. Depending on which one you work at, the parking lot is basically a meetup for druggies/drug dealers, and, at least where I was in New Mexico, people to meet up and have sex in their cars. As long as they kept their business to the middle of the night and didn't cause any serious problems, we were told not to call the cops or make a fuss, mostly because they'd come in and buy food after their shenanigans. Soda and mini pies were really popular with heroin addicts. What I later found out is that management was actually told to let it slide by corporate, since everyone higher up was aware of how much money the night crowd brought in. I got to see many drug deals. I'm convinced I saw at least one arms deal, but I of course have no way of verifying that. Midnight shifts were draining but so much fun. The kitchen staff is cut by half, but the people who order are so funny. I started working at MCDS when I was 15. The secret is that it's probably one of the cleanest restaurants in your city. The standardizations and routine practices leave little room for employees to think for themselves. It was a way cleaner restaurant than the $30, $50 sign per person place I would work at later. Exactly. I worked at McDonald's 10 years ago and eventually went to work at a high-end restaurant in a fancy part of my city. I'm still amazed at how clean my McDonald's was compared to the fancy restaurant. McDonald's actually cares about training its employees. Some owners and managers do indeed suck, but McDonald's corporate definitely cares and wants their restaurants clean and fast. Before I worked there, I always thought they used a grill. Turns it's more of a heated press machine. Used to be a grill. Upgrades. Didn't realize that until I worked there. Another thing is about the McRib. I would never eat that again in my life. Gross how it's made, and gross how it sits in a vat for half the day. I've never eaten a McRib, nor do I plan to. But from the things I've heard, people only like it because of the sauce. You could fill a cup with just the sauce and people would probably buy that. The Big Mac is just a double cheeseburger with 1000 island dressing, lettuce and an extra piece of bread. If you order a double add lettuce and Big Mac sauce, you get the same thing with less bread and cheaper price. Edit. I was inaccurate on my assessment of Big Mac sauce and just had some to make sure. In my defense, 20 years back, I'm old lol, I'm positive it was just 1000 island dressing. Thanks for the positivity. I want to go the other way with it. I want a Big Mac with some bigger patties. Like maybe order a double quarter pounder and ask them to make it like a Big Mac. Worked in one from 2000 to 2005. During this time, they changed the bacon. The new bacon isn't as good. During this time, they changed the shake mix. The new shake mix isn't as good. The shake machine works just fine, so long as someone remembers to fill it before it gets too empty and goes into automatic 90-minute self-clean mode. It also takes a very long time to start up, so if someone forgets, there's no shakes for 30 minutes. This was never a problem for me. Whenever I did opening shift, I'd kick off the coffee brewing for my team, then start up the shake machine for myself. The chocolate chip cookies and McGriddles taste amazing if you eat fresh out of the oven. Always made an extra half tray for myself. If you're ordering a meal, say the size first, large number 1 with a Coke. Everyone knows that ordering the meal is cheaper than getting that same sandwich, fries, and drink individually, but here's the secret. The pose has a button for the large #1 and a different button for the medium #1, then another menu for the drinks. So if you say I want a #1 with a Coke, I can't hit any buttons until I know the sizes of the meal, the size of the fries, and the size of the drink. A couple of Mormon missionary guys came in one time and ordered their food, and also ordered French fries with no salt. So the fries had to be fried specially, with no salt. They told me it was their tactic to get hot fries. I always thought it was hilarious how people would think they'd be so smart by ordering fries with no salt when you could literally just ask for fresh fries. I work at a fast food place, and when people ask for fresh fries, some people here just put the fries we have ready back in the fryer for 20-ish seconds. There is a glitch with the McDonald's app. There is a deals section and it usually has a coupon for a free cookie or free apple pie with any order. Add it to your order and you get the free cookie. Then, the next time you order from the app, just reorder your last meal. You can add/subtract whatever you want, but the free cookie will still be there. The glitch is that you can add another free cookie from the deals section, and now you have 2 free cookies. Evidently there is no cap to this. I now get 5 free cookies with each order. I stopped at 5 because I felt that any more than that would be overkill. Anyone who says they messed with food was lying, unless it's something boring like, we left patties in the warmers too long. One thing I was shocked by, this was pre-internet forums being widely used, so it was just info from people working there, was that no burgers are flipped. You put your 10:1 patties or 4:1 patties on the grill and hit a couple buttons and a second grill comes down, and both sides are cooked for you. I loved scooping a big tower of them off the grill to plop into the warming trays. Also I worked in one in the desert and sometimes our app would crap out, but only for the back, so you'd be sweating over the stupid grill and your coworkers would be hiding in the freezer. Sauces for sandwiches have the craziest dispensers. ketchup and mustard are in these really rudimentary plastic funnel things that have a paddle in the handle. When you squeeze it, gravity pushes just the right amount of sauce through holes. Doesn't seem like it'd work well, but it does if you apply the proper amount of jiggling. The mac sauce, mayo, and tartar though, they're in basically cork tubes that get loaded into basically cork guns. You pull the trigger on the handle and a really satisfying ratchety clanking delivers a powerfully saucy surprise for the awaiting buns. Problem is, it takes a bit of finesse, because if you hit that trigger too hard you'll blow the bun and the wad of cream right through the condiment station and onto the wall 8 feet away. No joke, the first couple tartar splurts of a fresh tube came out so hot I'd fire a shot or two in the trash to avoid premature spatulation during the lunch rush. The first salvo, properly elevated and adjusted for wind, could clear the whole kitchen and take out the McInfantry on the cash register. Did you enjoy this video? If yes, make sure to subscribe for more.